We've got a new team and a new energy. That was Kirby Smart talking about the Dawgs when he was at the SEC spring meetings just after Memorial Day. And this is a team that's going to be a younger team. They're going to have to put things together pretty quick, just like everybody else in college football, because there's been a lot of people that have come into the program. You had 10 guys in the portal. You had a bunch of guys leave for the draft. You had 14 guys leave through the portal. You signed 25-ish, whatever it was, players. It's a new mix. I mean, there's a lot of turnover in college football these days. And, you've got older players for sure. I talked about Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp and some of these older guys that have been around for a while. Monroe Freeling, Ernest Green. There's been a lot of guys who have been around the block that are going to really need to do some damage this fall. But when you think about it think about the running back room specifically. You're returning several running backs who will play this fall, who have played already at Georgia. That didn't really happen last year because of injury and because of transfers. I mean, you think about Nate Frazier, brand new guy. You think about Etienne, brand new guy. You think about Dwight Phillips Jr., brand new guy. So the Robinsons got hurt or never were healthy, and you're relying on two brand new guys. And does it make a huge difference? They still win the SEC, but it does make a difference on the margins, and you're going to have to get more and more used to this phenomenon, which is newer players coming in and playing. I want to focus on the new energy part. So I think this can be overdone in football or in sports, generally speaking, because every single year you get together is a different team. And I played when I was playing in college. You'd have 15 guys on the basketball team, and you would have about 9 guys playing tennis. We had a core group of 4 of us. 4 of the 6 starters in tennis were all in the same year. And so, that was good for the 4 years we were there, except the first year. But when we left, there was some transition because there was, you had to replace 4 starters. In basketball, after my freshman year, we had 6 freshmen that played that freshman year. We were an extremely young bunch, but we had the team was old with the exception of us. Guys that played a long time, conference players of the year. But every single season that you get back together, it's a slightly different team. There's someone that maybe they don't mesh the way that you really like them to. That's what Kirby and them are going to have to deal with, is how do you integrate all these guys into, a program that has really continued to challenge for national championships. They just won the Southeastern Conference. There's been a lot going on. And, by the way, particularly with Zachariah Branch, Noah Thomas, and maybe Josh McCray, but some other guys perhaps too. Those guys coming in, they're going to have to perform. And I don't know that you got that last year from the transfer players. I mean, was Dominic Lovett a transfer player last year? At that point, I don't really consider him a transfer guy. You didn't get Thomas. I don't know. Hey, we've got a great offer over on Dogpost. If you want our magazine for free, of course, you can buy it. The link to that is down below. But we have 3 months for the price of one, and you get the magazine. So what the normal cost for the magazine would be, you just sign up to the website. You get the magazine for free. I'll send it to your mailing address. But 3 months for the price of one and the magazine. That's a great deal. That's a $60 value for $15. So go ahead, click the link down below. Take advantage of that now, and you're going to get all the What We Were Hearing. Matt's got a great What We Were Hearing over on the website right now. I'm going to throw it on the screen just for a second. It was a big recruiting weekend, as you know. We already talked about Carter Lucky picking the Dogs. But we got a big What We Were Hearing about what's going on in the 2026 class. So an important time at Georgia right now. And, honestly, we're past Memorial Day, right? School's gotten back going at Georgia. There's no more sports left. Baseball with a just disappointing performance over the weekend in Athens. But everybody that's playing football, there's no break now. There's no breaks left. 4th of July, maybe guys will just kind of chill out a little bit. But the football season's here now. I mean, if you are not doing the work right now, it's going to be too late by October. because you have to build to seasons and you have to do little stuff every day that adds to what you can do. And if you're not investing in yourself right now with, 7-on-7s or hand placement drills or getting your footwork right, stuff like that, if you're not lifting, if you're not eating the right, like right now is a time where you're getting a little too close to the season to try to add or cut weight in a way that's healthy. So if you're not doing it by now, you're running up against the clock. It's June, and you play a game in about 90 days. So the season is here, and I think for this team, the new energy. The coaches aren't new. The coaches are not new. It's the same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator, same head coach. The quarterback is slightly different, but a lot that's coming back is the same. Gunner is the guy that they left the field with as a starting quarterback at the end of the 24 season. Okay, I'm with Matt. Matt, Ryan, and I we had a retreat of sorts at Dogpost World Headquarters this weekend, and we were talking about the Sugar Bowl. I have to say, I think it's way, way overblown that Gunner Stockton didn't play well in the Sugar Bowl. I'm not sure I buy that, and then that particular discussion point is, just for me, I don't know. Now, did he have a great season? He didn't. He only played in 4 games. That was the problem. We got things loading on the site here. This is the problem with ESPN whenever you go. I'm looking at their statistics, got stuff blasting in the background. He went 20 of 32 with a touchdown, 234 yards against Notre Dame. Now, he was sacked 4 times. That was really the challenge, was, the protection was not great, and he didn't run very much. But he carried it 6 times, and other than the sacks, it just wasn't. That was not an effective thing. Notre Dame did have a good defense, but their offense was terrible. Just straight up. They didn't, they just were not good. And Georgia's offense was terrible that day. Was it because of Gunner? I didn't think so. I didn't think so at all. I think, there's things that you look at with quarterbacks. This is a cheat sheet way of looking at it. This is really not. This is not the way to do it. But I'm going to say it this way. Like if they're not hitting 60% on passes, like that's a little bit of a red flag. If there's multiple interceptions or turnovers in a game, and that continues to happen, that's a red flag. So stuff like that, those are probably bad signs. But that's not what happened with Gunner in the Sugar Bowl. So this whole narrative from like Paul Feinbaum and so forth, I just think it's overdone. I'm looking at his entire season, in his entire career at Georgia. He's never had a game where he threw under 60%. I'm not aware that he's only thrown 2 interceptions his entire career, so he's not had a multiple interception game. I don't think he's had a multiple turnover game, but in the games where he's played significant downs, so, Tennessee Tech, Notre Dame, Texas, and Florida State, those were all games where he threw, in some cases, multiple touchdowns, 60% completion rate. The run game was better in all of the games except the Notre Dame game, which was really predicated on the sacks. So I think it's a little bit overblown for me. But, Gunner, look, this is going to come down to Gunner Stockton. And I don't mean just his performance on the field. When you're on a team, there's a lot that you can do that is not necessarily physical. Anybody can pick a practice up. Anybody can pull it down with the way they are, their attitude about the day. And in college, by that stage in your athletic career, there's not a lot of babies out there. So it really is, am I pushing the hardest? Am I going where I need to go? Am I doing what I have to do right now on this sprint? Yeah, I'm sprinting really fast. But am I going as fast as I can possibly go? Am I lifting the right way? Not, am I lifting and straining and all this stuff, but am I lifting the right way? There's a way to do bench. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do everything. And if that's what Kirby's talking about with, new team, new energy, not a lot has to change for the Dogs to have an extremely successful 2025. Not a lot has to change. That's the part to remember about what Georgia's getting into this fall. They got Marshall, and they got a couple directional schools to start. Then you're going to go to Tennessee, and that's where the real season will begin. Make sure you're taking advantage of our offer down below. Thanks for watching.